Hey guys, it's Lynn from GMP Custom Fabrications. Today I'm going to try knocking out a little bit on Rat Duallie. Nothing major, but I am going to try to get the exhaust manifold bolt or the exhaust manifolds off. Fingers crossed that I don't snap any of these bolts off. I can see already that the two back ones are burnt off. I've had seen in a forum that that's not uncommon for some reason for this corner for the bolts to burn off. I guess maybe the gasket's bad, or I don't know how they're made or something. But anyway, I gotta get the outside jam nut off, and then the heat shield part is on there, and then get the bolt off of it. So fingers crossed this goes good. I've not had real good success getting the bolts off or out if they break. But I do want to put headers on here, and plus I need to get them out of the way so I can do the motor mounts. It'll be a whole lot easier to be able to get in there and weld if I don't have them in there. So I'm thinking that for some reason I just have a feeling the passenger side is going to be worse, so I'm going to go ahead and do it first, and then we'll do the driver's side and see how it goes. All right, kind of saved you a little bit of aggravation watching me. Really wasn't much to show. Basically, I was heating up the head right here next to where the bolts go up in there. And of all of them I heated up, I only had one of them actually snap. But before I started heating, I snapped this one off, and I snapped off one on the other side. These two back here was already broke off. These came out good, these two came out good, that one came out good. So I guess I'll be talking to the machine shop, see about getting those fixed. I can try the tricks once I get the heads off. I guess I could try it myself first by welding a nut to it and trying to back it off that way. I don't have a lot of faith in them because there's really not much to hold on to. So we'll see. Maybe I understand that by heating it up, by welding it, that helps break it loose. So we'll try that. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. My next thing will be to get the motor mounts. Here's the factory motor mounts are right here. And there's the Crown Vic, if you can see it down there, their platform. Then here's the frame pieces from the original RV. So what I'm going to do is attach these onto the motor mounts that's mounted to the engine, and then come off of the front with a piece that will attach to the Crown Vic cradle. But I'm going to have to make sure I get it positioned exactly where I want it. Right now I'm crowding the driver's or the passenger side pretty good. I know I'll need to do that some in order to get the clearance I need for the steering wheel there, or for the steering rod. These pieces here I had made up for those perches because I had to raise it up at one point because I had it down too low before with the other motor. So I know that's a good piece there I could go off of, but I have to see. I'll get those pieces bolted on. Let's see if I can. I'll have to find the right nuts for these. This is just going to be a little show and trial here. Make sure I'm thinking proper on this. But I'm thinking I'll bolt that right there onto that. Well, of course I'll clean all this jaggedness off of it. So if I go ahead and bolt that on, then I'll have to come off something in front. Maybe a piece of angle iron off the front, mount it onto that right there and coming straight back. Might work. I'll have to see. But anyway, that's all I'm going to do for today. Try to keep these videos a little bit shorter. What you just watched till now, it's been several days. I had just got the exhaust off. Broke the several head studs off, or not head studs, but the exhaust manifold studs. I'm gonna have to deal with that. But I really felt like I needed to get some stuff done. So today I just really been hitting it hard. I didn't want to mess with filming a lot of stuff just because that would have slowed me down, and I would have got too focused on one thing and say, okay, well that's enough for today. I just wanted to keep it organic and just keep going. I've had really, I guess best way to describe it is anxiety over getting this thing to the point that I, ready to fire it up, because I'm just so worried that I've got something I'm going to overlook and it's going to be a nightmare to try to troubleshoot. But it'll be worth it. I know in the long run. I just got to stick with it. So today was all about knocking out little pieces one at a time. I had kind of started on the last video, I think. I don't remember what I had on it. I'll edit whatever. But I went ahead and got my motor mounts made up. You can see I'm using the Crown Vic pedestal, and it looks like it's got bad leverage off to the back side of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and brace it to the side too, and then if I have to drop the front end back out, I'll have the motor mounts will stay attached to the frame, and I'll unbolt the cross member from the front of the mounts. But it's, they're at angles, just the nature of the beast on the way this thing is made. But I tacked those up, welded them back together. Can't see this side because it's dark, but yeah, so I've got the motor mounts in. You may have noticed I went ahead and did some more wiring. I got the computer mounted inside the firewall. Got it sticking through here. So all my wires comes through. I'll have this covered up when I get it all done, maybe with the license plate thing or something. But just really trying to knock some stuff out today. Also got my transmission mounted. I was fortunate I was able to use the mount that was on here. All the holes were slotted and worked, lined up, so that was a no-brainer there. The drive shaft, I thought I got lucky with it. I had measured once, found a drive shaft that I thought was the right size, put the universal joints in it, went and put it in, and it was 2 inches too long, so I had to go ahead and pull it back apart and cut it down and weld it back together. I have done my own drive shafts a few times now, and I've not had any trouble with them being out of balance real bad. This one I don't know. We'll find out, and if it's out of balance, then I'll pull it back out and take it to somebody. But yeah, that's what I've been doing pretty much all day today. I've been out in the shop. I got a couple days off from work. Yes, I'm still working during the virus. I'm one of those essential employees. So yeah, nothing's really changed for us on the railroad. We're still working every day, cleaning up. We got bottles of bleach water to spray down our cabs with before we, as we go in there, and we always been wiping them down with Clorox wipes anyway. So that really just an extra step to try to keep everybody healthy. Let's see. Also, if you've watched my last video and you're watching this one before you watched any of my other ones for some reason, this is the first video of mine you watch, I highly recommend going back. I'm getting ready to show you instrument cluster. The dash modification I made in my last two videos was making this dash, and I never really got it finished up good. I just did it now. I'm just waiting for some paint to dry, and then I'll be putting it together, and then I'll show it to you. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here's look at it finished, I guess you'd say. That's how it turned out. That aluminum, I was going to leave it the polished look underneath the, there's a protective coating, but the protective coating didn't want to come off, so I ended up having to scrape it off and use a wire brush on it. So I end up with a brushed look, which looks pretty good. Let's see if I can get. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. I just have to make the rest of the dash and everything else look as good as the dash looks. So kind of fancy for a rat rod, but you can have fancy in rat rods sometimes. You need a little contrast. So anywho, yeah, that's where I'm at. Start routing some of my wires, mounting different stuff. I got a whole mess of wires here. That instrument cluster is going to be coming back out again because all of these wires here have to go feed to the back side of it, go to the back of the instrument cluster. So they should feed everything off of it, and then I got to refigure out where all that stuff goes. I knew it one time, but it's been a long time. So it may give me problems. I suspect it probably will, but that's part of the fun and the pride of making it work. So I'm exhausted. I've been out here all day hitting it hard. So I got tomorrow off too. I don't know if I'm going to do anything out here tomorrow. I got a buddy wants me to come look at his bike, figure out wiring on it, so I might go do that if I got time, or just think of something else I want to do on this, figure out what the next step is. I'll be getting to it. But yeah, oh, something else, just quickly. I'm thinking real seriously at this point about just mounting the gas tank, which is the one out of the RV, which is made for this fuel injection. Just mounting it right here in the bed for now. Just go ahead and run my lines from it. Just strap it down right there in the bed and call it good for now. We'll see. I don't know. I thought of that earlier because I'm going to have to cut this tank down to make it the way I want it, and then I got to weld it back together and have it not leak. So first I have to cut it up without blowing it up, and then I have to weld it back together in a manner that doesn't leak. So we'll see about that. And so I guess that's it. Thanks for everybody watching and commenting. I know I did a big push for subscribers the other day, so I could change my URL to something a little more usable. And then I discovered QR codes, which are those squares with the dots that your phone can read and take you to websites. And realized I could have been using those with the all along. But anyway, I got, as of the making this video, I was at 107 subscribers. I want to thank you all very much. Hopefully some of y'all are actually watching this and didn't just subscribe just because Glenn was whining about it and we want him to shut up. So so hopefully a lot of you are going to watch this video. I'm really starting to get into the merchandising side of it, trying to get some money going, because I'm a long ways from making YouTube money, but I can make t-shirt money today if y'all start buying t-shirts or mugs or stickers. All that stuff's available. I'll be leaving links below for my Teespring, which is who I'm using primarily now because they give me the option to print on front and back. You check out my shirts, you'll see why. In fact, I might be able to pull one up and show you over here in the video, or over here. Maybe both. I'll show one over here and one over here. But anyway, I'll have links below for Teespring, and I'm not going to abandon Redbubble. They still work good on a lot of stuff. So I'll have links for both of them. There'll be some of the same products on both sides. Some of them
you'll only be able to find on one or the other. Coffee mugs, I love the coffee mugs at Redbubble. Teespring has them too. It was just the deal of not being able to print on the back is what really got me off of Redbubble. And the profit margin. I can make more money per shirt selling through Teespring. So that's where I prefer you buy it from. But if you see something at Redbubble you like, that's cool too. Being able to sell t-shirts and make money that way is what's going to take me from scrounging for parts to try and make things work, which is kind of the rat rod way. But what would make this so much easier and less stressful is, for instance, if I had a Holley Terminator X fuel injection, fuel management, computer setup, I could get rid of this, get rid of all the factory Ford parts, and go strictly with a Holley Terminator X system. But it's not in my budget unless, I can start raising money. And I promise that's where the money will be going. I start selling some t-shirts, they'll be going right back into the project. I could show you numbers, just exactly how many t-shirts I need to buy a Terminator X. Holley set up quite a few, but it can be done. Something I was hoping before this whole coronavirus thing started up was I was gonna have some t-shirts made to take to car shows with me to sell at car shows, and I'd have them printed locally, and I'd have a bunch of them, and that's a lot of expense up front, and which I don't have with Teespring and Redbubble. I don't pay anything. I don't have to buy a shirt. I just make money when they print it and ship it to you. So that being said, because of all this, now I'm not going to stress about buying up a bunch of t-shirts to take to car shows. I'm just going to let the Teespring, do its thing, and hopefully I got some designs out there that y'all, try that without the draw. Hopefully I have some designs out there that catches your eye and you would like to have. I've got several with Sketchy. I do have stuff coming up for Sketchy. I just have to get Rat Duallie done. I have to get Rat Duallie done and out here. Poor Sketchy. But Sketchy is going to be real happy here before too long, because Sketchy is getting this new bump stick, which ought to wake her up. So discouraged. Couldn't do burnouts with it. Just that RV motor, it's just not made for doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's got torque, but it's where it's at and the RPM range and all that stuff. These cams are the timing's retarded, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean that in a technical way. The cam timing is set back, which is better for gas mileage, and I could have just replaced the timing chain and put the cam at 0 and probably got some horsepower out of it, but wife don't need to know that. I need a cam, honey. Okay, get a cam. No, but yeah, I mean, she's the one that wants to do burnouts in it too, so she kept telling me, well, maybe you need your buddy Eddie to show you how to do burnouts. It's like, no, that's not it. It's not that I don't know how to do burnouts in it, it just won't do burnouts. So anyway, that's coming later. Hopefully not much later. I was hoping to have Rat Duallie over in the new part of the shop where all the light is, but I'm still helping out family. This is my sister's Jeep Liberty. Had a bad oil pan in it, so I had to replace oil pan, which to get the oil pan out, you gotta do a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, this is a lot of rambling, and I don't know how much people like watching the rambling. If you like the rambling, I'll leave it in there. It's a lot to edit out. Anyway, hopefully I don't have shit all over my face. I didn't even really look before I started this. I've been out here all day and I'm tired and I want to go home. I am home, but I want to go in the house and start working on this, editing it down. So anyway, this is Glenn for GMP Custom Fabrications, living that dream. This is Glenn for G&P Custom Fabrications, living the dream till the freaking phone rings. Thanks for watching.